Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Mike Tellerino. I am going to be your host along with my co-host, Ken Avery. Tonight I've got a really special guest with me. He's Marine Master Sergeant.
Master Gunnery Sergeant.
Master Gunnery Sergeant
Johnathan Couturier.
Couturier. John, why don't you explain to us, for a lot of people I'm sure, they don't know what the Junior ROTC is. Can you give us a brief rundown?
Yep. So JROTC exists at the high school level. I think the majority of people know that at the collegiate level they have the ROTC. But at the high school level, every service branch has a JROTC program. So Army, Navy,
all the branches,
to include the Coast Guard.
Okay.
But the schools have to apply and go through a very rigorous application process.
Just to have the program in their school.
Correct. That's got to go all the way up to the branch secretaries for funding approval and everything else, because you are literally representing that service. So. Yeah.
That's awesome. What are some of the, for somebody to want to join, a high school student that might want to join, why don't you explain what are some of the benefits that he would gather from doing this?
Sure. At the high school level, you have to get certain credits to graduate. So instead, they have some options. They can join the gym class and get their PE credit, or they can join JROTC. And because we do physical fitness, drill, and everything else, they can earn the same PE credit towards their graduation. So it all depends. You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be the brainiac or anything. Something makes them gravitate towards this program.
Right.
It is so unique, and a lot of them want to wear this uniform.
Right.
Wow, I get to wear that uniform in high school.
That is a good-looking Marine.
Yeah, of course.
That's a good-looking uniform. You've
course.
got the best-looking uniform out of all the branches.
Yes, Class A.
By far.
Class
By far.
A's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the Marine ROTC and the Army and Navy, or is there a significant difference?
Well, it's affiliated with each branch of service, right? So they have their own set curriculum: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps. So, what's the Marine? We all have our own curriculums that we must follow. Marine Corps, and a lot of them cross-deck over. We teach air rifle shooting, archery, PT, drill, drones. All these branches of service offer that at the high school level. It depends on the instructor and what they want to offer the students. So
those are the activities that these young men and women and women
Yep. Oh, yeah.
can join with the Junior ROTC.
Yep.
How many women actually would you say, gravitate to this type of program?
So I would say it's about, some years I have more females than males.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And some of my very best cadets are female cadets.
I guess I shouldn't say really like that.
No, it's rightfully so, because normally you don't affiliate this program with the females, right? But we have certain divisions where it's all females.
Really?
Female physical fitness teams and drill teams. And some of my very best cadets have risen all the way to the top of the ranks and top of the leadership billets. They've been my company commanders. So
wow,
you do not have to be the most athletic. You just got to show me effort, and you got to want it and rise to the occasion and develop yourself personally and professionally.
John, how long does it take to go through the program? Is there a completion? Do you have to put so many hours in? How does that work?
Well, there's 4 levels. So as an LE1, Leadership Education Level 1, you should join your freshman year. And then if you make it all 4 years into the high school career, you become an LE4. Though that's very rare. That's rare for a high schooler to dedicate 4 years of their high school into this very challenging program. But anyone can join at any year. So we've had seniors join and they did 1 year into the program. It just took them a little bit longer to make that decision to join. But there are some benefits, because if you do 2 years, minimum 2 years in the program, you automatically, if you go to boot camp and graduate, you will get promoted
Right.
because of what you did in high school in JROTC. There's a tremendous amount of benefits to that.
How many kids do go from ROTC into the military?
Sure.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that
Yeah.
question.
Well, I would say less than 5%.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I don't push anyone into the military. The vast majority, 95% of all cadets never join the military.
Then why would they want to be part of the? I know that junior RT is a stepping stone
But yes.
into the military
Mhm.
with a lot of benefits that we talked about.
Yeah.
But if their head is in that space that
Yeah.
they're going to join after high school, what benefits are they getting?
Well, this is what I love about the program. It's not just for those that have aspirations to join the military. You're taught leadership, you're taught responsibility, you're held accountable, and you get to do so many unique things. So whatever profession and whatever that you pursue after high school, be it going to college, going to the vocational field, whatever the case may be, all the lessons learned at JROTC will help you.
Life
but-
lessons.
Life lessons, life skills that are
Right.
taught in this school.
Does this
Yeah,
carry over to college? So if you go for JR, and let's say you go into college, university, does that carry over to your university?
Absolutely. You can earn, I've had many cadets earn full ride scholarships.
Do they have the same thing in college as junior ROTC?
Yes.
Is it called the same thing?
It's called ROTC, just drop the J. It's called ROTC.
So in college, it's just ROTC.
Correct. Yep. And then those are the ones that have aspirations of becoming officers. So at the collegiate level, you are training to become an officer.
So at the college level, when you join the ROTC and you go through 4 years of college and training in the ROTC, do you enter the service with any special rank?
Well, you would enter, and after your commission, you would enter as a second lieutenant.
Explain the commission part.
So the commission is you chosen to become an officer, and then you have to go to each service branch's officer candidate school, right? And then you get your commission, and then you get your duty assignment, and then your
That's
MOS.
amazing. So this is real good life learning lessons for
Absolutely.
them. Like you said, in leadership skills,
Yeah.
working together.
Yes.
You know, I've seen your group perform at the American Legion Post 13 in Plainfield at one of our events, and I had never seen a junior ROTC do any drill.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, it was amazing. They were spot on. They were really spot on. I mean, they looked about as professional as you would see anywhere.
Yep.
I was like, wow, these are young kids.
Mm-hmm. All of us veterans, right? We take pride in the fact that this next generation, that's what we're trying to do, is to train these next generation properly. My philosophy is they have a privilege of wearing a uniform that all of us earned. So at the high school level, they have the privilege of wearing this uniform, and they need to represent well. So when you are out there and you see a hind type and you see these cadets that are physically in shape, wearing the uniform right, and on top of doing all this other performances, that's what it's all about.
You do a lot for the community as well, because a lot of communities call upon you to be there. I know we had you at the Forgotten Warrior Memorial, which is a memorial dedicated to veterans who lost someone to PTSD. And we had your cadets come out, and they escorted each one of the family members up to the memorial to say a prayer and place a rose. And I'll tell you, at the end of the ceremony, the families came up to me, and it's the first time we've ever had that, the pleasure of having your troop there. It was, I mean, they were just taken back by it. So thank you for doing that for these families. It meant so much to them.
I never realized that they were only JROTC.
Yeah.
I honestly thought they were Marines and that just got out of boot camp.
And
that's
I'll
how
take
the way
that
they
all day
act.
long.
That's
Exactly.
the way they acted.
Yeah.
They're so professional. You got them rock on. You really do.
Well, I
You
appreciate
should really
that.
be proud of what you've accomplished with these cadets because, like I said, seeing them in person, I told our commander at our post, you look at this, this is like, these guys are real.
Yep.
I mean, they really were proud of what they were doing.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I love about this program. One of the major tenets is involvement in the community. So we have to teach this next generation that you got to honor the veterans, particularly those that lost their lives, particularly the families
Right.
that are left behind. And when you teach them how to escort properly, show them the respect, the uniforms, it teaches them other things, other life skills, besides just what's the task at hand. They gravitate towards all that. And these are life lessons. And that'll carry with them the rest of their lives.
It's what's the hardest part of being a part of the junior ROTC? I'm sure it's not the discipline.
Well, sometimes it is. You know, in order to get this job, and I call it a job, but I also think it's kind of a calling as well. After doing 20 plus years, you know, and reaching a certain rank and stature in the military, when a master gunnery sergeant talks, people listen, things get done, right? Then all of a sudden you're thrown into a high school atmosphere, and now you're dealing with teenage behaviors, attitudes.
Mm-hmm.
That was my biggest challenge is, man, I gotta step back a little bit. I can't go off on somebody, right? I can't do that anymore. They're not Marines.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you have to build a relationship, and you know that took a little while for me. Believe me, there was some growing pains there on that one. But they get to see they get to be around a veteran every day.
Right.
So the transition was a little bit rough, just coming from the military, but it's all worth it.
You did a great job with them. Like I said, when they escorted these families up, they were just so proud and just so, I mean, they were all about their family.
Yes.
It wasn't about, hey, look at me. It was like they were right on there
Yep.
to take care of these families, show them the respect and the gratitude that they have. And it was just great to watch. I mean, it added so much to the ceremony, but more than just what it added to the ceremony, the families were so grateful for you being out there with your troop. Yeah, it's just a good thing.
When do you talk to these kids and I mean, do you explain to them what an E9 is?
Absolutely.
Do they understand what it took for you to get to that rank? I mean, I was an E5, so I know exactly who you are, what you are.
Yep.
Do they understand what your military rank?
So for the senior cadets, they have a much more appreciation for the military service because they're around it and they've been around it 3-4 years. The junior cadets, they're still learning, but after having a cadet for 3-4 years, you get to know them really, really well. You receive them as a 14-year-old, and then they're getting out as an 18-year-old young man or woman, right? So during that time, you go to competitions, you inspect them, you get to know their families. So you get a little bit intimately involved in all that, but at the same time, they're going to understand my career. And a lot of them, you know, gravitate towards joining the Marine Corps, joining the Army, the Navy, whatever the case may be. So they have a much more appreciation for the military and the veterans and someone's career.
What are the benefits? What are some of the, when they get out and say they do join the Corps or the Navy or the Air Force or the Army, you know, what are the benefits of them being in ROTC and then going in and say, you know,
Well, it's right off the bat.
I know the rank, but
Yep. But what I see is before they go to boot camp, because they were affiliated with this program, they know their knowledge already. They know their drill. They can PT. They have an appreciation for authority, chain of command. So when they go to boot camp, they know all that stuff already.
Right.
And when a drill instructor gets
They're
in
not
front of
newbie.
them and asks them, hey, what are your general orders and your leadership traits? And they know it, holy cow, right? And then
Right.
they become a squad leader. They become a guide. And then they get meritoriously promoted. It's not just a rank. It's they learn so much from this program, and they have a huge leg up on just some other high schooler that joined boot camp. And they're learning all the stuff that these cadets already know.
John, have you had any of your students at any time during that 4-year training with the high school come up to you? They had to thank you profusely for doing. I mean, you took a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I say patience, and I stretch
Yes.
that word patience.
Oh, yeah.
Have you had a lot of them come up to you? And I would thank you personally
Sure.
for your dedication to get in and through that.
Yep. I've had plenty. As a matter of fact, a couple of days ago, one of my former cadets called me up, and he told me that his leadership put him in for a meritorious promotion in the Marine Corps. And this upcoming Monday, he'll be meritoriously promoted to sergeant,
To Sergeant?
to Marine sergeant. And
That's
he did
kinda-
it in under 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Holy
That's-
cow.
That's fast.
John, that's got to make you feel.
Oh, extremely proud.
I mean, how does it get any better than that? I mean,
That's
you
what it's all
changed
about.
his life by what you did
Yeah.
and the fundamental values you trained him with
Yeah.
in the junior ROTC.
Absolutely.
So-
For him to call me and reconnect and tell me how his career is going and his love of the Marine Corps, man, that's all I really need to hear. You know,
But
it's
that's
awesome.
a testament to who you are
Mm-hmm.
and the pride that you take in to what you're doing. Now, we had talked about possibly coming to one of our events, and you said what? You may be up
Well-
for the first time.
Yeah, we have a very high caliber program, and it's with great pride that we may be qualified to go to drill nationals in Virginia. But then we also have a physical fitness team that may qualify for physical fitness nationals. So this is at the highest levels of JROTC, and we have the caliber of cadets to do that. So I will always support K9. I will always support Forgotten Warrior. But these are some of these once in a lifetime, for these cadets that have worked 3-4 years to get to this point, and they have an opportunity to compete at the highest levels.
That's
so
amazing.
that would be the only reason why we.
You have to be so proud. And I say when you get there, not if you get there, because I think you're going to make it.
we shall
When
see.
you're watching these cadets do what they do,
Yeah.
you have to be just if it was me, I'd be they're mine, right?
Yep, absolutely. It's.
I mean,
with
you
a lot
couldn't
of
help.
pride. Yep.
You have to be so proud of them.
Well, we put a lot of time and effort.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot. So for them to reach this level, I see their professional and personal development and years of training. It's awesome.
they just gave us that terrible 5-minute warning.
Okay, so
If anybody, they can only join the junior ROTC if they're in that specific high school.
If that high school has it.
If they have it.
Yep. Now,
So-
some school districts, if you're within the district, allow you to go to that school. But here in Romerville, you have to be in that school.
If some kid wanted to know more about the program and if you can get in it or what it's all about, where would they go to get that information?
Well, go to the school website or come directly to the school. Come see me. Go. The best thing to do is to go see the instructor, talk to them. And the second best thing is to talk to a fellow student and cadet because they're doing it.
Do you have a Facebook page?
I do.
Why don't you let people on our audience know that they can find out more about you and the group and the cadets on your Facebook page? What's the address to the page?
So it's Master Gunnery Sergeant Johnathan Couturier. So it's my rank, not spelled out, MGYSGT, Johnathan Couturier. And then I also have Instagram. So,
And if you're interested, I will definitely, if you want to reach out to K9, call me. I will be more than happy to pass this information on to John. John, I know we only have a minute, but I just want to thank you for what you do, not only for these cadets, but what you do for the community and organizations like the Forgotten Warrior Memorial.
well, Mike, you do a tremendous amount for veterans
Wow.
as well. So thank you so much. And it's
our
my honor to be affiliated with this great organization with you.
So thank you.
And we
Means
just
a
got to
lot.
keep that going. You know, so.
Well, we'll keep it going.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
And you
Mike.
look good in that uniform.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.